It's a learning curve for a lot of entrepreneurs who are going through this. I think a lot of people really push themselves like crazy to achieve, to be all the things, to show up on social media, to show up in their lives and for their friends. And you just have to at some point say, I'm choosing me and I'm taking a step back because I am fully exhausted. Welcome to the Bold Entrepreneur Podcast. I'm your host, Jen Kinal, and this is a space where bold moves meet inspired action. Join us as we dive into stories, strategies, and mindset of those who are building their dreams, creating impactful communities, and redefining success on their terms. Whether you're looking for practical business tips, a boost of inspiration, or a community that gets your vision, you are in the right place. Get ready to elevate your journey and embrace what it means to be a bold founder. Let's dive in. Hello friends, and welcome back to the Bold Entrepreneur Podcast. I'm your host, Jen Kinal, and we are kicking off season 3. I can't even believe that we are at season 3 of the Bold Entrepreneur Podcast. And this season is all about burnout, exhaustion, taking care of ourselves, nourishing our body, but also building in some systems and strategies so that we can create more freedom in our businesses, which means taking summers off, taking Fridays off, enjoying a little bit more calm moments in our business. And it's just something that I feel like is very necessary to discuss because as entrepreneurs, we have a tendency, or maybe it's just me, to really push hard to get after our goals, and then as soon as we achieve it, we're like, yay, what's the next one? So I just really wanted to talk about the thought of slowing it down a little bit in a way that still allows our business to thrive, grow, and succeed, but nourishes our hearts and our souls. And so I thought it would be perfect to kick off with something a little bit more raw and real, which is my journey of wellness and burnout right now. And so this really started for me in November of 2024, and just had me thinking, okay, if I'm going through this, other people are probably going through this as well. So I just really wanted to share how this journey is going, how I noticed it, and start with that so that one, we feel like we're not alone when it comes to this, because as entrepreneurs, we can easily get so burnt out, but also how I'm dealing with this. And it's a great way to kind of kick off this season with this is not such a good thing that I'm dealing with, but it has given me so much joy back in my life, so much more fun things that are coming, and it's still a process, and I'll go through that through this whole episode, but I just feel like it's probably the perfect thing to talk about when it comes to this season. So let's take a look at my story. So for me, burnout has slowly creeped its way in, and I really did not listen to it. I ignored it. I love what I do. I love creating things. I love the community aspect. I love my social media clients. I just really do love what I do. And so to be able to constantly create and build out these new dreams that I have, or create communities, or create events, or welcome in new clients, it just gets me so excited. And so just because you're not just because you love what you do doesn't mean that you cannot also unintentionally welcome in burnout. And so for me, I was completely burnt out. I felt like I was working so hard to be that best entrepreneur, to achieve my dreams. I was getting up sometimes at 5:30, 6 a.m. to work out, journal, have my coffee before everyone gets up, and just trying to be what everyone says you're supposed to be. If you're supposed to be successful in business, then you need to be up early before everyone else. You need to be mapping out what your day looks like. You need to be mapping out your dreams and planning. And I just was yep, I'm doing it. And for a while I did it, and I felt great. I felt so good getting up early and working out before everyone was even up. I felt stronger, and that was a great thing, until it just honestly wasn't. My body just started saying, nope, we can't do this anymore. You can't even get up before 7 a.m. because it was just too hard. I was way too exhausted to even think about it. And so I just okay, we can't get up early anymore. We can get rid of that. And then by 1 p.m. I was always crashing. 1 or 2, I would be coming up from the office, and I would be I'm so tired. I'd be it's okay. We'll go pick the kids up and we'll just sit in the car and we can have some time to just chill. I just was so tired all the time, and I could not figure it out. It was even just climbing the stairs. I'd be oh, I'm so tired. That was my mantra forever. I'm just so tired. I'm not getting enough sleep. How come I'm getting sleep and I'm still so tired? Like I couldn't shake it. And I didn't know what it was. I just was like, this is the norm. I'm just busy. That's just what it is. Like, I want to be that mom that's involved in my kids' lives. And I wanted to be the mom that like drives them to school and picks them up and takes them to all their sporting activities and is on the sideline for all their games. I love that. I would never give that up for the world. And I love my business and everything I do in my business. And I would never give that up. Like, it's just so hard to do all the things and not expect to be burnt out when you're go, go, go. And I thrive off go, go, go. But I was also a little bit snappy and irritable and angry. And I feel like maybe I can be a little bit lighter hearted about this now because I'm definitely on my way out of it and actively thinking about it. But I was grouchy, lots. Like, the littlest things could irritate me. And they still kind of do because I feel like I'm still in that burnout and I'm working on it. But my breaking point, honestly, and I didn't even really realize it, is I was at Trailblazer Live 2024. So that this is Selena Gray's event. Last year I went to it. And Paula, she will be speaking on the podcast this season about burnout, was on Selena's stage and talking about burnout and her journey with it. And I just remember watching her and listening to her and like getting so emotional. Like, tears were coming down my eyes. And I was like, what is wrong with me? Like, I had not identified as burnt out and exhausted. I felt it, but as she's speaking, it's like my body was like, listen, hey, Jen, listen to this. If you're not going to listen to this, I'm going to make you emotional so that you do listen to this. I'm going to make you emotional and have tears come down so that you will finally admit that you need to start taking care of yourself. And it just hit me, and I wasn't expecting it, but I was like, I don't know what's going on. Like, this is really hitting me hard, and I know I'm tired and I'm burnt out, but like, maybe I'm more than I thought I was, right? Like, maybe I'm crumbling and this is my wake up call. And so I actually had a call with Paula, and we just like got on Zoom, and our time zones were totally messed up. Like, I feel like I popped on at 9 p.m. and it was her morning, like she was just getting up kind of thing. And so we popped on a Zoom call, and she just was so incredible. She is like the most calming voice ever. But I remember her asking me, okay, so why do you feel tired all the time? And I'm like, I don't know, I'm so busy. I do this and this and this. And she's like, yeah, but why? I'm like, well, because that's what our kids are into. They're into all these sports. Okay, but why do you feel tired from that? And I'd be like, well, because I'm the one driving. Well, why are you not taking time for yourself? And I'd be like, well, because, and she just kept asking why and why and why. And finally it came down to like, I'm the last person on my list, and everyone else comes first. Everyone else's stuff is more important. And so that's why. And the very last why, I was like, oh, maybe I'm not valuing myself enough, or I'm not important enough to be top of my list. And that one stung. Like, that one made me feel like that's a horrible thing to say to yourself or to think without even, I could barely admit it. I could barely admit it even now, but that is a horrible thing to think, that you're not important enough, that everyone else's stuff is more important. And it's true. I put everyone else ahead of me, and it's to the point where like, I didn't even know what was bringing me joy anymore. Like, my joy was my kids. My joy was my husband. My joy was travel. My joy was like all these other things that weren't really like my things. Like, realizing that vacation has always been one of my favorite things in the world, is to go travel and to feel better and to just sit by the water and feel calm. And so I took a vacation right after that, and I felt so much better, because that is what revives me. It re-energizes me. It invigorates me. And so I remember taking this vacation, coming back and be like, oh, I'm all better. I feel so much better. And then going back into like the hustle and the doing all the things, because that's what my life was. And right away, burnout came right back immediately. And so that's when I was like, okay, we need to start making some changes. We need to start taking care of ourselves. We need to start making ourselves a priority. So I had to make some mindset shifts. I decided from the belief that I always had to be in the office from 9 to 5, or like I had to be at my desk, and that's when I started. And if anyone was going to email me back or email me at that time, I was going to be in the office to prove that I was there. And if I work my own company, I can be in the office whenever I want to. Nobody's actually like policing when I'm there. But it was just this mindset that like, no, you should be there. This is your hours. These are normal work hours for people, and you should be in the office at that time. And so it was a big shift for me to say, okay, I'm not going to be in the office at 9 anymore. I'm going to start at 10. And from 9 to 10 is my like time to work out. I have an hour to work out / like I can slowly get my stuff ready and work out. But I needed to incorporate some movement. I needed to start feeling more energized, because when I'd worked out previously, I remember like the energy I would get from it. So I was like, that's it. We're going to start working out, and we're not going to make myself get up at 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. to work out before everyone else is up, so that it got done and achieved, so that I couldn't scratch it off my list. I was like, no, we are making time for it from 9 to 10. So that was a really huge thing, because I felt like I was like, okay, well, I'm taking time, an hour away from my work schedule. And to be honest with you, I actually do the same, if not more work now that I've started implementing like working out and taking care of myself, because I have that energy now. Whereas before, maybe I was dilly-dally, maybe it's just taking me longer to achieve everything, but taking that time really, really helped me a lot. So no more early morning workouts, and I started waking up at 7 a.m., which was like amazing for me, even though at that point it was also like really hard to get up at 7, probably because I had gotten up so much earlier for years. The next thing I did was I started going to Bear's Paw Pharmacy, who is actually one of my clients, to get B12 shots. So I remember her posting, like telling me, this is the content we want to create for our social media. I really want to focus on promoting B12 shots and how they can help you. And I remember creating all this content for her and being like, yeah, I think I need this. Like, I think that I need this. Like, I was so low energy. I was foggy. I was unmotivated. And these B12 shots are supposed to help you bring back more of your energy, to help you feel less foggy. Like, all the things that I was like, yeah, I'm probably the target person. So I was like, that's it. Let's go in. Let's give it a try. And this is, for me, I actually don't even like needles, but this is the best thing ever. So I started going every 2 weeks. I would get a shot in the arm. And then you wait a couple of days, and I'd be like, okay, I feel better. And then I went 2 weeks later, because you could kind of feel my energy dipping. And I continued doing that for a bit until I could start stretching it up to 3 weeks. And so now I go every 3 weeks. I can tell exactly when the 3 weeks hits, because it's like all of a sudden my energy will just drop. And then I'll look at the calendar and be like, oh, it was 3 weeks. I got to go in. So I definitely think it's helping, because I can feel it. I can feel the energy. And so that was one of the tools that I took in and started implementing. But honestly, it's been such a game changer for me, and it's really helped me with my energy, with my focus, with feeling better. So that's been one thing that I really love, and something for everyone to kind of look into, whether it works for you or not. If you have someone amazing like I do at Bear's Paw Pharmacy, she really helped me talk about the things I needed in terms of my energy, and if it was the right fit for me. And then we also talked about, as I was going through the B12 shots, if I was seeing a shift and positive results with them. And so then another thing that I did that was actually really hard for me was to close the Bold Founders community. So it's a community that I created for women in business. I loved this community. I loved the events. I loved getting together. I loved seeing these women like connect with each other, meet outside of our events, see them supporting each other's business and just thriving. Like, it just felt so good that I was part of them learning from great speakers, from them connecting, and I just loved it to pieces. But behind the scenes, I also put a lot of pressure on myself for these things to be amazing, for that we would have incredible speakers every single month, whether it was in person or not in person, on Zoom, whether like what was the location that looked like, what was the cost and the budgeting of it, making sure that that was all working out, and just making sure that I was really putting in everything I could for these women, because I wanted it to be so incredible. And so I put a lot of pressure on myself to do that, and I never really heard any criticism. I put out reviews and everyone had good reviews on it, so I never really heard like any bad things about it. But internally, I would be like, it's not good enough. It's not, it needs to have this. It needs to have this. It needs to grow. And the pressure I put was just so much. And so it was it came to a point where I was like, I just can't. I don't have the energy. I don't have the time that it took to build these events and bring them together and market them. And I just had to say it's time, and I had to let it go. And as much as that hurt me so long, like so much to make that conversation. I had so many meetings with women on Zoom to be like, what do you think about this? Do you think this is okay? Like, do you think, like, how do you think I should do it? And when I finally did close it, it just felt like, okay, you can breathe a little bit. Like, you have some space, you have some mental space that you can just relax into it. And so that was a really big thing. So even though you love something that you're doing, sometimes we just need to take a step back so that we can see with clarity what that time away has given us. And if it's worth it, if it's something that's really moving the needle for ourselves. And that was really, really impactful for me. And so this really has been quite a journey for me. It feels like I'm in recovery, but it's not a one and done sort of thing. This is definitely a journey. And as much as some days I'm like, oh, I feel so much better. There's other days when your body's like, nope, you are not out of burnout yet. Like just recently, I ended up like losing my voice for a whole week. And I was like, what is going on? Like, I'm not actually sick. Like, where'd my voice go? I didn't understand what was happening. And I really think that was my body just being like, you're still not ready. Like you're still really low energy and you really got to take care of yourself. And I had to like shift everything just so that I could like sit and be calm. I even had my friend Selena who was like, we're supposed to get together today, but you need to just rest and chill and do nothing. And so I'm going to lovingly cancel on you because I'm going to force you to relax because I don't relax well. And so that was such a gift for me, even though I was like, oh, what? I don't want to because I love everything that I do. But it's not like when you're coming from burnout, it's not like it just goes away. And I also like realized how irritable I was from it and still sometimes am. And it is just because it still lingers. It's going to take me a while to get back to where I need to be. So I feel like I really wanted to have this conversation because it's a learning curve for me. It's a learning curve for a lot of entrepreneurs who are going through this. I think a lot of people really push themselves like crazy to achieve, to be all the things, to show up on social media, to show up in their lives and for their friends. And you just have to at some point say, I'm choosing me and I'm taking a step back because I'm fully exhausted. And so I really wanted season 3 to be about slowing down and taking a break and breathing a little bit more and bringing in experts to show us the way in terms of nutrition, to show us the way in terms of taking summers off, to show us the way in terms of just slowing down. Like, how can we take care of ourselves? Maybe it's even just building out systems so that we can enjoy life more and still have our business going on in the background. So I really wanted to really focus in on this episode, but also season 3 about how you can love what you're doing and you can love your business and still feel burnt out. And if we can see that before we get burnt out, that is amazing. And if we can see that when we are burnt out, also amazing. Because we just need to start acknowledging and listening to ourselves before we get to the point where it is utter exhaustion and chaos. So rest is not earned, it is essential. We do not need to tackle our to-do list before we get rest. We just need to make sure that's part of our daily routine. We need to adjust our schedules and have that be seen as a strength and not a failure. So me getting up and then working out in the morning from 9 to 10 is not a failure in my business. It is actually making me personally stronger, me mentally stronger, my body healthier, but also my business stronger, because I'm more mentally ready to tackle those challenges. And if you're not making yourself a priority, it really is time to change. And so I am definitely not out of burnout, and it'll probably take me at least another year to get myself back into like the systems. But really thinking about what is important to me, what I'm willing to like remove, what I need to keep, what's priority, but also making me priority is key. So I hope if you've listened to this episode, you're going to take away some key takeaways from my journey, but also what you can expect this season. So burnout can sneak in at any point. Even when you love what you do, it can sneak in, and it'll sneak in subtly. And it's up to you to decide when you notice. Like, you can notice way before, when I was like a little tired, maybe I should have slept in longer today. Or you can notice when things start to, like, your body starts to like crumble and your energy is completely gone, or your voice is being lost, or we can unfortunately wait until something bigger and more drastic happens. So I really hope that you're listening to this and thinking, you know what? I'm going to listen to season 3 this summer, and then I'm going to start implementing. I'm going to start taking care of myself and putting myself as a priority. Because if we don't take care of ourselves, who else is going to? Right? People aren't mind readers. They're not going to know when you're feeling burnt out and exhausted if you don't say it. People aren't going to be able to take care of you and make you a priority if we don't say, I need this support. We cannot be for everyone else all the time. We need to be there for ourselves and take care of ourselves. Your body also is definitely keeping score. As much as we're like, no, it's great, it's healthy, it can do all the things. It is going to know when you are lacking in sleep. It is going to know when you are pushing so hard that you are depleting it of energy. It is paying attention, and just because you are able to do it doesn't mean that it's not pulling your energy or something from somewhere else within your body. So make sure that you are taking care of it, because we want to make sure that we live long, healthy lives, that we are there for our children, that we are there to help our business grow, to create our legacies. It is so important that we start putting ourselves first and we start putting our bodies first. Rest is also not a weakness. It is a wisdom. I hate naps. That's like, when we're talking about like weakness, I actually hate naps because I feel like there's so much that could be done that day, and if we are taking naps, we are missing that opportunity to get things done. So in a way, it feels to me like it is a weakness thing, but it's really not. It's nourishing your soul. It's allowing you to just chill and be and live in the moment. Like, I want to create more days where I have the time and capability to rest, to take a nap if I choose to just sit and read a book. So taking a moment for yourself is not about weakness. It's about like creating strength for yourself, creating some wisdom for your mind to have that clarity, to live the life, to enjoy moments. And if we can make little small shifts in our lives and in our business and our schedule, we can really make big impacts. Like what I've told you that I've done so far, and I'm still implementing little steps along the way. Like, I'm now looking at my nutrition and how I can start increasing my health and wellness and what I'm eating and the foods that are impacting me. I have actually a protein shake right here. Protein is now like one of the big topics that I am really tackling. So it didn't just go into, okay, I'm like burnt out, let's do all the things. No, I've slowly added things in that are making me feel better. And then finally, we just have to make ourselves the priority. We need to be the person for ourselves in our lives who takes care of ourselves, who listens when we are not feeling good. And instead of saying, doesn't matter, I gotta get this done. Maybe even if you have a deadline, you have to get something done, how can you take moments of calm and bring that in? So just thinking about those things, I really hope that this episode resonated with you and you feel like you're listening to yourself, or you're adding even in little things that I've said today. Like, maybe you just want to go get a B12 shot because you want to check it out and see if that's going to help, like, you just feel better or clear the mental brain fog, like whatever it happens to be. I hope you take anything that I've kind of mentioned in this episode and implement like a little thing. Maybe it's just movement. Maybe it's just going for a walk a day, or like drinking more water, or whatever it happens to be, like little baby steps. I hope today has really made you think, I need to put myself first. I need to go read a book for myself. I need to go garden for myself. I need to just sit and be. We need that sometimes, and we need to put ourselves first. So I really, really am excited for this season, because it's what being an entrepreneur is all about. We can create great things, but we also have to really take care of ourselves. And we have the tools and the systems and the strategies to be able to do that for ourselves as well, just like we can with our business. So just be ready, because there's some amazing stuff coming this season. And if this resonated with you, take a moment today. Ask yourself, do I need a shift? Join us for the Be Bold conference on October 7th at the Whitewood Barn, because this is going to be an incredible day with some seriously boss ladies in business speaking to us about how to bring more joy into our lives, how to work less and make more. That is like the best thing in the world. How we can bring more systems and scales into it. How we can learn from other women in business. We have some incredible powerhouse women coming to speak to us, and also to just be in the room. Like, I cannot express enough how just surrounding myself with incredible women has allowed me to open my eyes to what is possible, the potentials, the growth, and then used all those things that I've learned in my own business so that I can grow that way also, or grow in a way that doesn't have me working as hard and as often. So I hope you will join us. This is going to be such an incredible, impactful day, and get your ticket because they are limited tickets. We want to keep it nice and small and limited. So I will definitely see you there.